What's up, everybody? Galactic Tribe podcast in the building, going way galactic this week, man. Let's do it, man. Let's do it, yo, Lelouch, you ready, fam? You ready, fam? This is the major move right here, baby. Man, we are going to Villa Maria. We are taking over Villacon in a nice way. Like we like Villa Maria. We like the people there.
It's a peaceful takeover. It's not a hostile takeover.
It's not a hostile. It is a very passive takeover. It's not aggressive whatsoever, but we will be locking that thing on down because we got a great agenda lined up. So, Lelouch, how you feeling about Villacon this weekend, man?
I'm excited to see it. Like this will be my first time actually getting to go. I know this is only their second year running it, so I mean, curious to see what development they've had in there from their first year to this year, and then really exploring what we can do with it going forward. Because I mean, I definitely want to be a part of the Villacon going into next year as well. So
yeah, Villa Maria for their second convention. I mean, for the first one, it was a really good turnout. They had people, both students from on campus, people off campus come. They had a lot of great vendors too, a lot of talented artists, and jewelry makers and just creators of all different types. So I think this year is going to be bigger and better. It's definitely worth, a $10 charge too. That's not super expensive. So, and it's also just been a long winter, fam. Like it's been a long winter for a lot of people. So I think people are going to really enjoy just having something to do with their families again. So yeah, looking forward to it. So today on the Galactic Tribe podcast, we're going to be going over the agenda for Villacon. All right. So we got our own agenda, right? Because we got our own room. But then Villa Maria has, a lineup of their activities and panels that they have going on. So you'll be able to see what's going on. So you can plan properly. Because like when you go to a convention, if it's your first convention or what, there's so many things to do. Mm-hmm. And you want to make everything, but you just can't. Especially when you're a vendor. When you're a vendor or a panelist, you got to balance the time wisely. And sometimes you'll be doing something, but you really want to go do, something somewhere else. So I'm just saying, if they had like a Lego Gundam building activity, I would probably have to say, yo, listen, I know we've had to do this panel, but yo, listen.
So pre-planning for Villacon 2024. Got it.
Yeah.
Gundam building. Gotcha.
Yep. But yeah, man, it's gonna be dope. So Luce, you want to cue up the agenda? Wrong one.
Oh, ours. You want to
Yeah, no, you good. All right, cool. So we are going to start the day off. We got some Instagram. What up, Instagram? How y'all feeling? Welcome. So we're gonna start it off nice and easy. 11 o'clock. We're gonna talk about what is Afrofuturism. So there are Black people in the future. This is basically our intro that the Galactic Tribe does whenever we have a Wakanda Alliance program to introduce people to what Afrofuturism is. We're gonna have a conversation about it because some people haven't heard the word before, right? But they've also seen Afrofuturism and just probably didn't know there was a word for it. When you saw Lando Calrissian, being a playboy, being a player in the stars in like that second Star Wars, you're like, oh man, he got some swag to him. He stands out, right? A Lando Calrissian is different than a Boba Fett, way different than a Luke Skywalker, way different than a Darth Vader.
So which Lando are we talking? Are we talking Bino Lando? Or are we talking about Billy D. Williams?
I mean, both of them just have that same swag play. I love them both. But yeah, like Billy D, this is the 70s we talking about. Or if you want to talk about, Mace Windu too, right? Because Samuel L. Jackson said, listen, if y'all want me to be a part of this movie, you got to give me I got to be different. I got to stand out. A purple lightsaber.
You got the purple.
Yo, when I saw that, I was like, yo. Because like in all the video games, like, it was usually blue or green. And then I feel like, and then they started adding, after they had purple, they started adding all the colors. So it was orange was a color, white was a color, and everything. So it's like, we push, right? We push the envelope a little bit and we get so much out of it. And sometimes we don't get the recognition for it. But hey, listen, we coming back for the recognition. That's what Afrofuturism is, because we gonna have our own Star Wars at some point. So yeah.
And speaking to that, of course, rest in peace to an Afrofuturist and I can't. My brain just froze. Like Lance Reddick. Lance Reddick. Yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah. All right.
Commander Zavala.
Yeah, Commander Zavala, we salute you. Did you do the whole salute thing at the in game? Yeah. Yeah. So for those who don't know, actor Lance Reddick, of course, passed away just last week, and it was a blow to the culture because he was part of so many different uh galvanizing just on screen and like as a voice actor too. He had a lot of voice acting positions. Our man C Saint, he brought up an old skit that he did called Toys R Me. I don't know if you ever saw it, but
No.
Lance it's pretty vulgar, so we're not gonna play it on this podcast. But it's one of those funny or die joints where it's like, it's very vulgar, but it's really hilarious to see. So, but yeah, Commander Zavala, did I say it right?
Zavala. Yep.
Zavala, Destiny was like one of the biggest video game roles he's had because the character himself, Commander Zavala, is like the man. He's the one who led led the Destiny Warriors. That was the weirdest way to do it. My bad. Lelouch, you're better off explaining this than I am, man. I just started playing Destiny Warriors. That's a fire name, but it's an actor.
Destiny. No, but the Commander Zavala, aka Lance Reddick, was the Titan Vanguard, the leader of the Titan Guardians. And then also going over to Horizon Zero Dawn, he played the villain of the first game, and then coming into the second game, ended up being a major ally to you. Mm-hmm. And going into the third game, he was supposed to be a major piece. So I'm really curious what's going to go with that going forward. But again, like, just a very aspirational person. He's got so much blurred content out there, it doesn't even make any sense. And it's definitely a huge blow to the community knowing that he's gone.
Yeah, well, we'll have to put him into a slide, during our slideshow just to honor him. So let's definitely do that. Let's go back to that agenda so they can see what's next. So after we talk about Afrofuturism, we're going to go into there you go. How to build a nation. So we talk about, listen, what do we need to build Wakanda like right now? Like, what are the resources we would like to pull together if we were to build a nation? How would we establish our own Wakanda? What type of what would the technology be like? What would the approach to education be like? What would the approach to architecture look like? The social justice. What does that look like? What is the crime for for A, B, C, D, things like that. And then also my favorite part of that conversation is, what does it take to actually have a Black Panther? Like, are we going to have somebody? Are we going to be democratic about it, or are we going to throw somebody over a waterfall? Like, well, what's up? I'm just saying. Just saying. Joe Biden.
If they did have the waterfall games, that would be like one of the best televised events ever. Probably. Like, I would for sure watch it. Like,
Challenge Day, listen, bigger than a Super Bowl, fam. Like 10 times bigger. Like probably just as rigged, but also
it's like, yo, bro, I've been hearing about T'Challa A. All season. He's been prepping real hard for this. He's going against M'Baku.
Yeah, again. That's what that movie was missing. It was missing the announcers. It was missing referees and like announcers to commentate the game.
They had someone there commentating, like announcing the different tribes, but like they didn't have like in the right corner. Like I wanted that. Like, is this Coogler? For Black Panther 3 if they get one.
Come on, man. We need that. They actually had it in the in the Reginald Hudlin run. They had like some announcers who were like commentating the fight. So that was pretty interesting. And it was much different. Like they lined up the matches and all that. So I'm excited for that. Man, can you imagine like the Challenge Day commercials?
Blackpeoplemeet.com.
Yep. So it's going down. So that's gonna be a really fun conversation. I can already tell the way we're talking about it already. That's gonna be a fun conversation. Word. So after we do that, we're probably gonna fool around for that for about an hour and a half, and then after that, we're gonna take things kind of easy. We're gonna have board games going. We got a Wakanda Forever board game that's pretty fun. The Lelouch, you played it one time. I'm sorry, what happened. We ain't got to talk about that night if you don't want to. But that board game is real cutthroat, y'all. Like, I don't like. Listen, if you can find it. If you can find it, because I mean, it might be hard to find. I mean, it was at Target before. You might have to look a little bit harder for it now. So just look up the Black Panther board game. It should pop right up. But yeah, no, that's a really fun game. We're also gonna have Uno, maybe some arts and crafts for some young people or whatnot. But yeah, we're just gonna game for an hour, put something on the TV, probably the Black Panther animated series from the 2000s. Probably put that thing up. Um, what else? What else is there? What other black? We don't have enough Black Panther media out there, man. I can't say this enough, and we can definitely talk about Wakandaverse because that's also on our table. But yeah, there's not enough out there. We only got a full Black Panther video game. We got Iron Man. We got who else has a? Doesn't Thor have? No, Thor doesn't have one.
Hulk for sure got one.
Oh yeah. Hulk had a video game and all that.
The Avengers collectively have one, and we got DLC in it, but we don't have like we don't have a Black Panther game. We don't have a Black Panther series.
Yeah,
I mean, animated series. I mean, because I feel like we definitely deserve
like
that.
A full one, not a mini series, like a full one.
No,
we need a full one.
As many episodes as X-Men did back in '97 or Spider-Man did back in '95. Like I want that. Like give me that. Yeah,
100%. But yeah, it's gonna be a chill game hour, so we can get out, explore the kind a little bit more. So that's gonna be fire, and then we come back at 2:30. You've been walking all day, you've been talking all day. You might need to just woosah, take a breath real quick. So we got Kaylee Goba. She'll be coming in to take us on a nice yoga journey. So she's gonna lead us through some relaxing yoga, get the stretch out that fascia. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Stretch out the legs and all that. So get that downward dog going. Don't worry, we ain't gonna stream that part, y'all. So if you're worried about putting something up in the air, you ain't got to put it up on the gram. You know what I mean? Like keep it on your OnlyFans. We ain't trying to put nobody out there like that unless we getting paid.
We'll keep the footage for our own personal use.
Yeah, no, we won't. Cut it out. Cut it out, Lelouch. Don't do that. We come too far. Oh man, especially with the cosplay girls. You listen, man. Nope. We'll do some nice photos, some nice tasteful photos, and that's about it. So after we do a nice yoga session, we got Sankofa's Embrace. So Antoine Mitchell, who has been doing Sankofa's Embrace for a number of years now, he has Afro fantasy. So it's good that we can finally bring the idea of Afro fantasy into the same conversation as Afrofuturism, because while they are definitely different, there's some things that do match up, and a whole different angle of expression. So I'm super excited for that. He co-created.
The first two syllables are also the same too.
What's that?
Afro. The first two syllables.
I mean, yeah. No, this is true. Good observation, Lelouch. Very good job. So he co-created Sankofa's Embrace with his wife Queen. So hopefully she's able to join as well. So after Sankofa's Embrace, we got Concrete. No, we don't. Echelon Novels. Luce, you can tell us about Echelon more than I can, so go for it, bro.
Yeah. So for the Echelon panel, Charlie, Ethan, and I will be giving some information on like how the process of starting to make a comic, like where do you begin? Where do you, if you want to start the story, you want to start with the art, just various information on then, and then just giving people links to have actual lessons on getting that done as well. So just helping people to tell stories on their own and being able to do it at a high level. That's what we're going to be teaching for our panel.
Word. Yeah, and I think there's a lot of people on campus, at least on campus that day, who want that information, who need that information, who need to get insight from people who have done it. Because I mean, like when I was trying to do my comic idea or any idea of animation, I didn't really know where to start. And I didn't want to go out to a college to find those answers. I didn't want to drop thousands of dollars before I even had an idea of where that answer could be. And that's just to start my journey, let alone trying to make it into something that's far greater than that. So yeah, I definitely think that's going to be a valuable session. So I can't wait for that as well. Shout out to Ethan and the whole Echelon team for doing what they're doing. Helping us with some secret Galactic Tribe podcasts. I ain't gonna talk about projects. I mean, yeah, but yeah. So and also personally with my own creative writing, Ethan's been very dope and instrumental in helping me out with that. So shout out to Echelon. I'm looking forward to having them. And then you got a few more other people from your group coming up, right?
Yeah. So Charlie Wilson, from the Now Podcast slash Echelon, will be out there for it, and then Cardi from Bayshan, he'll be making a guest appearance there too. I don't know if he's actually
Sweet.
speaking on anything, but he'll be
Okay.
there.
All right. Dope. Sweet. 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 All right. Cool. And then Concrete Comics makes a return to the Wakanda Alliance program. Concrete Comics, they have their two-time Glyph winners, which is an award given to comic publishers. So they've taken home the gold a few times, and they've really been doing things. They've been knocking it out. We had them on our on our workshop back in, I want to say, 2020. Featured Lonzo, who's a founder, CEO, Onaji, and I forgot the other brother's right name. Please forgive me, but he's got a strong, solid team, so he's gonna be doing. He's bringing the team with him. He's bringing the pack with him on the virtual side. So that's gonna be pretty cool. They have a lot of great comic titles. I got a few here actually. I can show off to you all real quick. Sorry for those who can't see the who are on the podcast side or the audio only side, but go to our YouTube, go to our Facebook, and check this out again. So they got Tenoch. All right, this is how I knew how to say Tenoch Huerta's name before I got to see him in Wakanda. So they got Tenoch, who's the god of fire. The creator was also on I think he was on one of my lives, so he's pretty dope. I got a few of his joints, right? Feel me? Oh, this is something that's not theirs. Acolyte, which is he's like the flagship leader of Concrete Comics. So you've probably seen this man. He's been an action figure. He's been drawn a bunch of different ways. So Acolyte is pretty much the main title, created by Alonso himself. Odina, that's Onaji's project. She's pretty dope as well. You got Absolver. Absolver's pretty dope too. So I mean, these character designs are pretty dope.
The art is pretty sick.
And then these are foil comics. So I think I did something with their Kickstarter or something like that. Became a big supporter, and so it came with like some cards in the back and a nice print as well. So I love the Concrete team. They've been doing big things for the past few years. I see some bright things ahead of them. Hopefully they can make it to Blurred Con too. If they can, I'll be super excited. They're out there. I think they're kind of spread out: Jersey, Philly, and Atlanta. But those guys are cool. Someone just jumped into our chat. We got an infiltrator.
I think that's John.
Oh, I was about to say, wait a minute. Yo.
John, is that you, bro?
Yeah. How's it going? Sorry, I was just making dinner and stuff, and I totally forgot about this.
All good. Jay, how you feeling, bro?
Feeling good. Feeling tired, but feeling accomplished today. Got something off the ground.
Yeah. We'll talk more about that soon. But actually, we can. Is that the last thing? We got one more thing on our agenda. So, John, you were there for Villacon last year, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of Villacon for your first time?
No, I thought it was amazing. Just that a university would do a con. You know what I mean? Like in a way that's like really engaged and involved. Always like Villa Maria for the fact that they really do seem to be trying. I don't go there, so I can't say how they doing, but they always seem to be trying. And I liked it because I bought a lot of comics. I got some Funkos. Like, it's just cool whenever you bring, especially people who love like comics, but all mediums, together. You just find commonality. You find the things that you like, and then meeting the different comic artists. I know I bought a bunch of like indie comics there that, to be honest, I haven't read half of them. But just just being in space and getting to meet people who are creators and talking to them, and then getting to meet people who are students and wanting to be creators or teachers and have been creators or inspired other creators. I just feel like it's very rare that you get to be in a place with such a wide range of different creatives on a college campus. So I loved it, and I'm excited for this weekend. It really hasn't fully hit me that this is really real. But and then all the remodeling they did and everything, it's gonna be dope.
Now, was that your first like Comic-Con type of convention you went to?
I mean, I've been to like the Niagara Falls and Buffalo Comic Cons before.
Okay.
But I think in those there wasn't, there isn't as much of a community vibe. Like I think
I
there's a
understand.
big community vibe there for a Comic Con, but I think just like this place, you could tell people know each other. Some people do, some people don't.
Right.
But it just felt like more of a community. And you could just tell when everybody around you is an artist and they're like not just consuming the stuff, but they're really into it and able to talk about it and can really kick it with you about some of the deeper things to the different art forms that are there.
Heard that. Yeah.
John, have you ever been able to make it out to one of the bigger cons, like a San Diego Comic Con, LA Comic Con, New York Comic Con?
No, but that's the bucket list right now. I mean, like, can we get to New York this year? And yeah, we'd love to get to Chicago and obviously, San Diego. I feel like that's like the next couple of years. My goals right there is just to get out there and also to figure out different ways to get paid to get out there and get other people out there. Because I just keep seeing this world of comic books and video games and art and everything. There's just so much opportunity for people to get paid to be themselves. So I feel like it's a necessity to get out there and see how what everybody's doing, even not just the big names, but I like just the people who show up and the people that it attracts.
Right.
Yeah, and I definitely had a lot of memorable conversations when I went to BlurredCon last year, and it just felt like such a great space because everybody knew the assignment for the most part, right? And it was like the language that's normally unspoken, but you have to kind of use it as a code didn't have to be used as a code. It was just openly expressed in a number of different ways. So I definitely think that as plans for getting the BlurredCon, man, listen, John, you are going to meet your match, bro. I'm telling you, like, it's some people who are going to be like, yo, what? Why don't you have a panel, sir? Why are you talking to me right now? Why aren't you talking to 50 people at once? Why aren't you talking to 100 people at once? So, we definitely going to leave our mark when it comes to that. So I'm super hyped for that.
But speaking of Chicago, the third biggest convention in the country, C2E2 in Chicago, is literally the weekend after Villacon, and I'm going out there with the brand here, blurred.com. So just feed into exactly what John is talking about, getting paid to go into spaces like these to be yourself. I get to live that dream for a weekend.
Tight.
No, and then you get into Chicago, man. It's a great city, and I definitely got to go next year, and I'm on a mission to. It's weird because I've been on a couple of these in my life, but I'm on a mission to meet and get in space with Eve Ewing, who's going to be writing the Black Panther, is also former Chicago teacher, and I feel like a lot of great stuff comes out of Chicago story wise, historically. So I would love to make sure we get out there next year. And really, engage with that because to me, if you watch the national news, you watch the national media, Chicago has become one of those example cities, and not in a good way. And I feel like whenever that happens, it's that much more important that we find like the real stories from those places, and shift the narrative and the attention to. And I also get the honor of working with a lot of people in Chicago doing my other work. So I'm always just curious about different neighborhoods, different places, and even how like different worlds, like how different people relate to, the comic book, more artistic world, versus, just other things that are going on, and how like you could have this whole world in the city and like how some people know about it, some people don't, and just seeing like, where different communities are really at with art and literature, because I think a lot of communities are really, denied access. Like they have stories, they have ways to make them, but they don't have people to guide them or inspire them. So yeah, I'm super excited to get to Chicago and New York. I definitely want to do San Diego, but I don't know nobody in San Diego, so it's like it doesn't feel the same,
Fair enough. But man, let's get after it, man. We got a long year ahead of us, pretty much anything is possible at this point. We've been doing some big things with the Galactic Tribe. If y'all been following the podcast, y'all been following us on our social media. We've been kind of quiet about it, tight-lipped, you know what I'm saying? But in the moment, we're about to start throwing it out there and letting y'all know what's actually up in these streets, in these Afrofuturistic streets. So yeah, stay tuned. So the last session we have on Villacon to kind of circle back. So we've gone through all of our panels. This last session today, you had a day full of talking to different panelists and creators from all over the world. Luce, that's the wrong image again, but it's okay. I ain't mad at you.
Yeah. Wakandaverse.
You're good.
We have not talked about Wakandaverse.
It's still Monday. It's all good. I'm also on my last leg as well. So after you've been exposed to so many different creators, you've been thinking about some of your own ideas. Our last workshop of the day is going to be the Wakandaverse writing workshop. So pretty much like what we've been saying, there's not enough Black Panther media out there. Like there's comics, cool, couple movies, but we don't get another movie for another 3 or 4 years, if that. So, and there hasn't been a video game dropped since ever, right?
Never.
Right,
never.
Right, you know what I mean? So, but now we get to jump into our fan fiction bag and really like, what does a Wakanda look like in your eyes? If you were able to write your own story for Wakanda, what would you write? Would you change up the story that's already happened? Would you introduce a whole new original character into the story, into the fold, into the world of Wakanda? So many different things that can happen. The idea of Wakandaverse is just so massive, and it's like Wakanda does have its own creative force that can be used the same way Spider-Man can have Spider-Gwen and Spider-Man 2099 and Spider-Man Noir and all these other different iterations. Wakanda can have that same thing. And Disney Marvel, you're kind of crazy for not capitalizing on it, but that's cool. That's where we come in to fill that void.
Yeah, you gave us a little taste with Star-Lord T'Challa, which was great.
Yes.
Give us more. There's plenty that you can do.
Just give us more. That's all you got to do. Just give us more.
Or just let us give you more and you pay us for it. Like that works.
You know what I'm saying? like we got some young Tanahashi coaches and Reginald Huddins and Christopher Priest out here, and that's why I'm excited about e-viewing. Because there's real stories that need to be told, and Wakanda's such a dope way to tell them. So I'm excited for what we come up with. I'm mad though, honestly, we haven't tracked every single story that somebody's come up with, because some of the stuff that we just be coming up with off the cuff or kids come up with, or even the conversations that get started, are so deep. And I think hopefully one day Marvel and a lot of these people is gonna recognize like there's some real people, real stories to tell that just need to give up some more space, more space in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we still have the one that we did with Tales from Wakanda, the writers from that one. I'm pretty sure that one's still on YouTube. Maybe it's not a full episode, or maybe it's a short form one. I'm gonna make sure that I know I recorded it for sure, because I knew in my mind like, we gotta capture this point. So I'm looking at bag and then start to repost some of that material as we start to build things up and snowball it back into the fold of everything. So I want to know from the two of you, like, do y'all have a Wakandaverse story in mind that you might want to play around with?
I mean, especially since I've just been learning about him more, I would definitely want to do more exploring stuff with Gentle. I mean,
okay, yeah,
just kind of expanding his importance within Wakanda, and seeing exactly what he can do with his power.
Word, yeah. For those that don't know, Gentle is half Wakandan X-Men who was kind of caught between two worlds. He was banished from Wakanda because he was quote unquote half breed and was very unloved by his mother, very much abused physically and mentally by his mother. And so his mutant ability activates whenever his trauma is triggered, and he becomes pretty much a giant, a hulking giant, really, like, just in every sense of the word, just hulks up in his own way. And the only thing that kind of prevents him from killing himself are vibranium tattoos, which are a mixture of, I think, tech and magic, or it might just be all tech. I'm not really sure. I got to go back and confirm, but
it's all the same thing in Wakanda,
right?
Yeah.
Big facts. But but yeah, so Gentle's is a dope character who's definitely getting a little bit more burn than he was before, and he got a little bit of burn before, but he's getting a little more burn both on the X-Men side and the Black Panther side. So yeah, that's a fair idea. John, what about you? So like John is an OG, man. John is an OG at this Black Panther thing. He's one of the ones who has been around since the beginning, who really saw Black Panther in a really particular light. That's really specific to the era that he found him in. And I'm not trying to date John by any means, but there's just like a difference between the new age Black Panther fan and the Black Panther fans who grew up in the 90s and early 2000s, who were really heavy on the Priest run, heavy on the Reginald Hudlin run. So but John, you've gone through a lot of different comics of the Black Panther mythos, and you definitely have a perspective that's a lot different than some of the others out here who are just like, we want this, and if we don't have this, then everything else sucks. You know what I mean? So share a little bit about your journey with Black Panther.
Yeah, man. Well, I was talking about, I started reading Black Panther, like I started reading comics, in like probably like 92, 93. It was like it was probably like a year and a half before like the X-Men and Spider-Man started coming on Saturday morning cartoons. And I was playing soccer at the time, and legit, like I definitely, like I would be like hurt, or like, yo, if like I remember when Spider-Man was gonna fight Venom for the first time, I was like, yo, I can't, I'm sorry, I'm sick. I am sick, I'm coughing. I'm doing all the little tricks that now little kids can look up on the internet, but you used to go to lunchroom, be like, yo, how am I about to get out of school tomorrow? Like, I got to see Spider-Man fight Venom. But I was really, really, like, Blade was cool. I liked Bishop, but I was really like, I didn't know it at the time, but when I first started reading them, I really identified with the X-Men because they're black. So like, just so everybody knows, it's official. Like, you're X-Men, you black. You're a mutant, you're black. And Beast was my dude because he was like really smart, but he was blue and everybody was hating on him and nobody really got him. And then he would spit poetry, like there'd be a moment and, for battle, and then he would kick some Shakespeare or some Churchill, and it was a bar. Like it didn't rhyme, but he was dropping like knowledge and jewels in bars. And I really loved that. And then the whole Bishop thing happened. And then like, I feel like, I read like lots of X-Men and Daredevil and Spider-Man, because that was just what was popular. And then I remember, and I didn't know about the whole like collapse of the market and all the wild stuff that was going on in the background, but it was like comics chilled out for a while. And when they came back with this Marvel Knights, probably about like 97, 98. And like, I was like 12, 13 at the time. So it got darker at the time I was ready for it to get darker. It was one of those things where they was like, okay, we're gonna go after these teenagers. We're gonna, it's been a little nice and cartoony. We're gonna get a little gutter with it.
Yeah.
And so, I started reading Marvel Knights, and it's like the whole story of the Christopher Priest run is told through, and I was actually mad obsessed with like the CIA. And like basically just this whole concept of like, yo, there's actually dudes literally like running from country to country, like taking down countries and building them back up. And, all those 90s action movies with the Russian and the Arab bad guys. And then, the gangster movies where you got blacks and Mexicans, in the hood, and then internationally. And, I feel like I wish they would make a movie out of the Christopher Reeve one, because it took all of that stuff that I was seeing in the movies, but it was so much deeper. So, you got Everett Ross, and he's basically assigned to like spy on T'Challa, and he thinks it's like bum duty, because they're like, yo, man, Wakanda ain't nothing, but yeah, we had this, this Wakandan, they treat him like he's some type of playboy, like coming to ball out of New York City. And that's how and obviously he's smart. So he plays in all that stuff. And then like, obviously like 2 or 3 comics in, and it's like, hold up. Did this dude just like put on some black pajamas and like start murking people, like running the street, and then, halfway through it, he's like, he discovers Everett Ross is spying on him. And Everett Ross is like thinking like, yo, all right, I'm gonna let this dude know I'm playing, like I'm watching him, because he starts to solve the mystery. Like, and that's why I love like the whole Batman element where like T'Challa is solving a mystery. Then Everett Ross is figuring out the mystery that he's trying to solve, like as he's trying to solve it. And then he's like, hold up, this dude actually might need my help. Like he might be doing something that's like real. You know what I mean? So this dude who thought he was on bum duty is now like, yo, I'm into some stuff. This Prince of Wakanda is like not playing. Like he's yoking people up and making people disappear and running around on rooftops and just wave Daredevil off like he was nothing. You know what I mean? So who is this dude? And then he's like, yo, I know you've been watching me. I know you've been watching me the whole time. I've been watching you watching me and watching everybody else who's watching me because they watching you watch me. And just the way that every single situation he had it like played out, like every situation it was like, yo, I'm watching you watching me watching you, so I could watch the people that's watching. And he was just like 97 steps ahead of like everybody.
Yeah.
And then to the point where the CIA agent is like, you know what? The U.S. government's wrong. I'm gonna keep my position so I can help you out. But this is messed up, you know what I mean? And you could, and again, like the reason he was on Wakanda duty was because he didn't believe. He wasn't a shooter. He wasn't a killer for America. So they kind of played him off, and now almost played him in the hands of Black Panther. And some of that is like plot armor storyline, but some of that's real. We've all met people who like, they want to believe in the idea of America and be a soldier for it, but deep down, they know that ain't real. And so I felt like when I was reading this as a kid, I was just like the character development, then the action and all that other stuff, like, but it's just like, and then the whole concept of like they're in America and he stays just shitting on America, be like, oh, Wakanda, we do this. Oh, Wakanda, we got this. Y'all just use this. Y'all still on that? So for me, like it was the courage that Christopher Priest had, and I want to say courage, and also just no one was watching. Like you could clearly tell in certain moments in like media history, like right now, like everybody's watching and critiquing everything, and it's really hard to just stand up and do what you want to do because everybody's gonna have something to say about it, good, bad, or indifferent, because just the era we're in. I feel like Christopher Priest was just in his basement, well, I don't know, wherever he was, but he was just cooking and he did not care. Like, could you imagine if the Black Panther came out today and like the main character was a white CIA? It's bad enough what you hear written about Everett Ross, like being in the movies the way he is. Literally the whole first like 90 comics were written from his perspective, from a white man's. But to me, writing it from a white man's perspective is what made it so real to me, because this white man is actually figuring out that Black people are better than him the whole time. And my 13-year-old brain was just like, yo, this dude is like studied countries. He understands espionage and all this. And he's like, hold up, this dude is doing stuff we never even thought of before. Like, wait a minute, Wakanda could do this, he could do that. And then the whole idea that he legit is a prince, but he's in the field, like he's in these streets. You know what I mean? Like he's a field general. Like he's running the war dogs from New York City. You know what I mean? Off he wasn't Kamoyo beads yet, but he used to have a little wrist game thing, whatever they could think of in like 98, 99. And so he's communicating. Yes, it was the card. It wasn't the beads yet, but like he's literally running like an international spy operation as a prince, pretending to be partying, and then literally like acting like he's too hammered at parties, dipping off in the closet, putting the suit on, and then he's going after like the Bilderberg, the G20. He was unraveling how America and Europe were about to go ham on Wakanda, and so he's getting ready for their preemptive strike. And then it comes time for like Everett Ross to be like, yo, Everett, you got to tell your people, like, they got guns on me, we got guns on them, and I don't think they want to play with us,
right?
And then Everett's got to be like, well, how do I know, how do I know that? Like, what do I tell them? So I don't know. I could go on and on about that run, but it was just very different storytelling. And for me at that age, like I was really hungry for more than just like shoot 'em up, beat 'em up stuff and some meaning. And it definitely hit me with a whole lot of meaning and a whole lot of things that started to have me, asking different questions about the world and how it's set up and what it really would be like for African king to have this much power and be walking around the United States of America, and how many people would want to, lay him out or do something to him or take advantage. So, for me, I think off of all that, I want to find like the next Christopher Priest. I want to find the next like creative and unusual way to share the stories of blackness and black culture, in a way that like really, just hits people differently. And I think we've been getting a lot of that lately. And I definitely want to see more. I want to I love Brian Michael Bendis. If you don't, he wrote a bunch of the like early 2000s X-Men epics and even recent ones and Avengers epics.
Yep.
And him and what's the other dude's name? Jonathan Hickman. They both kind of switched off writing Avengers and writing X-Men. And then they had Avengers versus X-Men, and they had Secret Wars, which, T'Challa plays a dope role in. But I feel like, Cyclops and Captain America and Wanda and Magneto, they're all getting torn apart through this whole epic of Avengers versus X-Men. And I really feel like T'Challa and Storm and Gentle and all of these, the whole Wakanda verse got left out of like 15 years of epic storytelling between the Avengers and the X-Men, the parallels, the intersections. And like in Secret Wars, T'Challa swoops in and he's the king of the dead, rocking the gauntlet. Great moment. But in the post, there's no tension between him and Storm over like, yo, which side are you on? We got family on both sides.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, Cyclops' family was like totally tore up and totally like retconned and not that we need all of that, but it's just like what I've noticed is the Black Panther has been written like almost in a separate world of his own. And Spider-Man, that happened to a little bit too, where like he's in these events, but really those events aren't reflecting totally his life. And I think that's what makes the Marvel Universe work. So I want to see Wakanda be more of a character. I want to see more of the Wakandan characters that they created, like Gentile and Toshin. And then I want to see more of this tension that we feel from Captain America, that we feel from Cyclops and Wolverine about, yo, who you with? Like, are you Wakandan? Are you an Avenger? Are you an X-Men? Like, what sets you repping, and the tensions that come with that, because that's so much of what makes Black Panther good in Wakanda is like, do I go off and fight Thanos or do I hold it down at home?
Right.
And I feel like that tension made great stories for the past like 15, 20 years of comics. And I want to see, Black Panther more in that. And then just vibranium itself and the whole concept, the more I learn about science is like everything is vibrating. So theoretically, if something can like stop things or control vibration, it could control pretty much any scientific property at a certain level that exists at any frequency. So I feel like I wanted them to hire a bunch of scientists to nerd out on like what would it actually mean if you had a metal that could control frequencies and vibrations at every single level across the spectrum, and and then bring back that intergalactic side. So that's just like a little sliver of what I think could be done. But I really think the Wakandaverse, could be, bigger than the Spider-Verse, bigger than the whole Marvel universe itself. And that's probably why they're playing around with it, because they know how much power could be behind it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what you just explained in the last 12 minutes was an anthology. Like, great, you very well could make an anthology based on just what you just said right there. So, and yeah, man, that 90s Black Panther, the swag was just different, man. Like when I first got back into Black Panther, that was the Priest run was the first one I picked up. And I'm like, yo, this man just walked into a shadow, transformed, and walked out the shadow of a different person. Like, wait a minute, because he, and then he had the Dora too. The Dora were totally different than they were now. They were, had mini skirts on with the wig on and the glasses. Like they some bad chicks. And he rolled up with them. Like it was like that. Like he looked like a total playboy. But on the other side, he was catching fools in the alley talking about, listen, not only your life. Yeah, you said what? A pimp named
Yep.
Say the whole thing. Oh man, but he was like, he pulled out the card. He said, "Listen, you know what this means? It means I own you. Anywhere you go, anything you do, I am watching." Like, yeah, man, that '90s the child was way different. But yeah, and I think that just adds to how much a character can change over the times, depending on what the status quo is. Because like John was saying, the priest was pretty much untouched. Like they didn't try to interfere with too much of what he was doing because to them that was edgy, right? It was edgy to have this black man who's doing all these different things. And to do that now would be like, oh wait a minute.
Yeah.
A lot more people watching, fam. You're a little too, you know what I mean? So yeah, we're definitely gonna have fun with the Wakanda verse stories. And again, we're not gonna just keep it to Villacon. We're gonna keep this thing on going. And we also have some things lined up with some of the schools here in Buffalo. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, now let's slide over to what Villacon has to offer for everybody else. Like our room is cool, but by all means, if y'all want to go explore something else, y'all more than welcome to. So here is a schedule of events for Villacon. All right. Make sure you get there on time for registration. They have an animation club fundraiser. So Villa Maria, they are very well known for their fine arts programs, music production, animation, all the different digital media arts as well. So they're going to be having a fundraiser. There's also going to be a showcase of the students and their work at 10 a.m. Make that bigger. Y'all want to see my face? My pores is not agreeing with with time right now. They're going to be in artist alleys. That's where all the vendors are going to be set up. Different vendors, artists, things of that nature. Video games. All my gamers, listen, they got a couple things going. They got a fighting game tournament going on. I believe it's going to be Tekken. I don't think it's going to be Street Fighter. I think the guy who's running it is more of a Tekken dude. But there's also going to be an open community play. So I think they're going to mix it up and have like Smash Brothers, maybe some old school games like Mortal Kombat or, maybe a different mix of things. So keep an eye out for that. They will have a Super Smash Brothers tournament. If you really get down with Smash Brothers, there will be a tournament as well. And then a Goo Game Station gaming. Oh, a gaming trailer. All right. So basically a gaming trailer is a trailer that you can walk into and there's going to be different games set up. So they're going to have that outside if you want to get some fresh air.
Should I bring my Marvel versus Capcom?
You know what? If you got it on the disc or whatever platform, I say bring it and see what happens. See who won it. See who wants the smoke. Man, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, man, that was a game. That was an era for sure. I don't know how many quarters you spent on it, John, but I'm sure it's a lot.
Oh, definitely. And I'm gonna give a quick shout out to the milkshake spot on Ferry and Jefferson because they actually have an old school Marvel vs. Capcom in there. So anybody wants to smoke, they can pull up there anytime. Text me, I'll be there. We'll handle it in like 5 minutes.
Wait, oh man, big flex.
So we got to throw a old school arcade tournament. Is what you're saying? This milkshake.
Oh,
get your quarters.
Definitely,
ready.
They're gonna sponsor it too. They got milkshakes and fries and infused beverages. So I think it'd be the perfect spot to host a little something.
Oh, that spot is next to Doris Records.
Yup.
Word. Okay, now I got more than enough reasons to go in there. I bet I'm pulling up. Sweet. All right, it's on then. Some more games they are going. Shelly Hyde, not sure what that is. Maybe you want to walk in, you find out. Dungeons and Dragons for all my D&D fans out there. Yep, Lucia is definitely one of them. They're gonna have a D&D room going on for a good portion of the day. Lego Club, those who like to build Legos and compete. I guess there's a Lego competition. Check that out. That's going to be happening as well. Cave of Chaos D&D also going on. So they got a couple D&D rooms, 2 rooms and a boom. Not sure what that is.
That sounds never mind.
It says 13 and up. I don't know if that was a typo and it should be 18 and up, but we gonna see. I mean, it is a college campus after all.
Fair.
I mean, you say boom, I boom. Let's go.
You need 2 rooms for the boom?
Oh
okay.
Man, 2. That's a lot of boom. It's gonna be a lot of booming. Open board gaming. So those are your board games, probably like Uno, Sorry, maybe. Maybe some other tabletop games. That should be pretty cool. Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig. I have no idea what that is. That's probably a really obscure game. that caught wind and got popular at some point. I'm not sure what that is. And then finally, Magic the Gathering for all those who play Magic the Gathering. That's gonna be going on pretty much all day. So that's gonna be great. A nice lineup of games there. Panels. There will be even more. If you thought there couldn't be any more dungeons or any more dragons, guess what? There's going to be a character creation D&D. So check that out from 11 to 12 p.m. That looks kind of fun. Galactic Tribe. Y'all already know what the vibes is on that. Cosplay Veterans Tell All. Ooh, that sounds juicy. That might be interesting. So cosplayers are probably going to be sharing some personal stories, cosplay memoirs, if you will, about their experiences. So that should be pretty interesting. Addison Henderson, who is a dope actor and director from the streets of Buffalo, really dope cat. He's going to have a Q&A and a meet and greet in which we will both meet and greet him. Oh, did my mic go out? Did my mic go out? Oh, did my mic?
No, I hear you clear.
All right, cool. The light went off. I got to jump up. Yeah, we definitely got to pull up on Addison Henderson. His movie, it's not Game of Death. What is it? It's,
Game of Death.
What is Game of Death? Yeah, God.
That's a very deliberate title. I've got to watch that and talk to him about that. So I will try to get into that Q&A as well.
Yeah, definitely got to be some entendres going on there. But check that out. I think it's on YouTube Premium, if not some other platform. But definitely look that up. Cosplay photography and tips. If anybody's interested in not doing the photography themselves, but maybe they want to do photos of those who cosplay, definitely cosplayers need photos to keep that Instagram or whatever platform popping. There is definitely a strategy to that, especially if you want to add special effects, or if you don't want to add special effects. If you're not that great at Photoshop, then maybe that's something you want to take a look at, and maybe you can find some tips and tricks to get your photography game popping. Don't break anything. So I think the idea behind that is to absolutely, you're gonna break stuff. That's a break room. So smash room or whatever you want to call it. There will be some things that you can smash, get some rage out. That is 18 and up. Okay, so make sure the youngins stand back for that one. You don't want kids cutting themselves or anything like that. You want to break responsibly. So if you got some steam to blow off, maybe you spilled your chili dog on the way up the stairs or something like that, or maybe you didn't win a cosplay contest, go break something. You'll feel a lot better.
Go steal that computer from your office that you hate. That printer.
Have
get your boys some Ice Cube.
Have a whole Office Space moment where they stomped out the machine, the fax machine. Oh man, classic right there. God and gaming. I don't know what to make of that one.
I'm curious because that
you got 1 hour. maybe it's an explanation. I think if you go to the Villacon page, all these panels will be explained, but I'm just throwing darts at this point because man, there's so much going on. Now this one sounds super exciting. I might just sneak away for this one. Unleash your Super Saiyan through resilience and self-belief. If all we gotta do is just sit there and yell for 30 minutes, I mean, I kind of wish it was at the end of the day when I'm like, when I got a little bit left in the tank, but man, I wonder what that's about. Maybe it's meditation.
I definitely often fantasize about being as dumb as Goku, so I could just try to do stuff instead of actually thinking about how to make it work.
That makes sense.
Just start screaming until you finally get there,
and until plot convenience jumps in, and now you got the side of plot on your side. Nothing can beat you.
Yeah, I just got a little halo over my head. I didn't have to deal with any pain to die. I just get to go on a crazy planet where I get to train for like 400 hours a day, and then I'm good, right?
That's it. All right.
That's resilience. Let's go choose resilience.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, we got to sneak away for that. If we get the room set up before then, maybe. Or that's at 11 o'clock. That's our first panel.
They got them sensu beans. I'll take a couple sensu beans.
Right. Yeah. Man, listen, we would get so much work done. Marvelous Muppet Madness. I don't know what to make of that one. That one is also 18 up. So I don't know.
18 up Muppets. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm very curious.
Yeah, like what's going on? Okay.
Man, we can only guess. You can only use our imagination. That's what Villacon is for after all anyway, right? classic science fiction, probably going through the times of different science fiction as it's evolved throughout time. So I think that's gonna be pretty interesting. How to baby girlify. So wait. An example
of
Tumblr.
Tumblr.
Yeah, I don't know about that one either, Chief. That's also 18.
That's for sure if you're talking about Tumblr, the website, that's gotta be 18 and up.
It might be like how to maybe post the right way to get the bucks going, or to get some type of transactions out of it. Not sure. I don't know. 18 up. Y'all gonna have to find it. Listen, if you have to bring your kids, okay, bring the kids. But listen, there's some things going on. You might want to just, hey, sit here, eat this burger. I'll be back in 45 minutes. Look
and
at
don't talk to nobody else who comes out of that room.
Steer clear. Oh man, yeah, this is good. This is gonna be a day. This is gonna be a day. Useless PowerPoints. Great. That sounds like fun. I might have to look in at that one just for the laugh.
Just to understand what that is.
Man, yeah. I watched a video the other day. It's a short video. It's this Indian guy. He's sitting in a river, and he's just like, F your PowerPoint. What is the use? There's no use for these slides. It's completely useless. And he's just like trashing the idea of PowerPoints and spreadsheets, just saying whatever you're saying is just stupid. Like the PowerPoint can't sound any more smart or any dumber than you already are. Like you just out here. So I'm gonna send you that video because I needed to laugh because I was sick of doing PowerPoints until I watched that. I'm like, you know what? I make pretty damn good PowerPoints. So
our PowerPoints is the truth.
Yeah, for real. I mean, they are the truth, like living, walking truth. So absolutely. Then cosplay contest and karaoke. They got a little bit of both going on. 3:30 p.m. there will be a cosplay contest. So whether you want to enter in your own outfit or see who's gonna compete, definitely I recommend checking that out. And then that's also going to be streamed. Am I correct, Lelouch?
Yes, that is. We're going to be setting that up Friday to make sure it can work. But I'm excited to see how that turns out there. It's going to be a good time.
Dope. All right, cool. And then karaoke. I know Lelouch likes himself some karaoke.
I'll probably slide over to that.
Yeah, just sneak out for a little bit. I think that's the same time as your session. So, we might have a little time.
No, it's right after.
Okay.
Because ours is
over. Look, I made sure.
It's over at 4:20. So
it's gonna be a little bit of overlap. We'll play it by ear.
Oh, so you get a little 10-minute break and then you can start the karaoke.
Yeah, that's exactly that's exactly what that is.
Word up. And then to end the night, there's gonna be a cosplay dance party. So might have to miss that unfortunately because we got another engagement after Villacon, believe it or not. But it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun there. So there's going to be food trucks as well. There's going to be the bistro that they have at Villacon, and then some food trucks pulling up. So yeah, that's the schedule. It's pretty packed, man.
Where's the after party? What hotel lobby is going to be lit that night?
Off air.
Curvy.
Off air. Off air. I got you.
Okay.
But yeah, no, definitely some festivities. I mean, there's also my birthday weekend. Happy birthday to Ace.
So,
yeah, looking forward to celebrating. I mean, this is gonna be a packed weekend. I'm really excited, and this is the way I would like to do my birthday. I would like to do my birthday doing Wakanda Alliance work, doing Galactic Tribe work, nerding out, geeking out, and just having some fun, and then doing some things that I can't say on air. Like that's my ideal type of celebration for my birthday. So I'm excited.
You manifested it.
You said what?
Yeah, I said you manifested it, man. It sounds like the stars all align.
Look at that. Yep, just in time for Aries season is going down, y'all. But yeah, this has been a beautiful episode. We got a lot more to talk about. We didn't get the Shuri's Lab, but we can get to that next time. But if you are in the Buffalo area and you have a young person who's interested in STEAM, by all means, go to our website, check out our newsletter, sign your teen up for Shuri's Lab so they can learn the fun side about STEAM, not just the tech and the science and the math. Some of that can be a little intimidating to some young people. They might feel like they're being pushed into something they're not super comfortable with. But we're gonna make it fun. We have a dope lineup of different people from different backgrounds who are going to create an environment where your child will feel safe and comfortable jumping into the world of STEAM. So we're definitely looking forward to that. Some other things lined up. Go to our website, check them out. You got any questions? Shoot us a DM at Wakanda Alliance, Facebook Wakanda Alliance Program. This podcast, of course, is on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. And yeah, we are gonna have a dope week ahead of us, and then we go on into April. So I'm looking forward, y'all. Anything from Lelouch or John on the way out?
No, just if you don't have anything planned, make sure you come see us at Villa Maria College on the March 25th, this Saturday. Come.
Straight like that. Cool. All right, y'all.
I mean, that's about it.
Yeah. Word. All right, there it is. All right, we're gonna fuel up this rocket and take off. So until next time, y'all, keep it future forward. See you next time on the Galactic Tribe. As always, Wakanda forever. We'll see y'all soon.
Going in this trip in the favorite rocket ship.